Whilst visual novel author Kotaro Uchikoshi is known for the Zero Escape games like 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors, and the Either Somni and Valles games, there was another series he worked on that didn't come west. Well, technically that's a lie because one of them did come west for a limited time back in 2005, but that was 20 years ago and we've never seen anything since. Comprised of 3 games that were released by Kid and held by the duo of Kotaro Uchikoshi and Takumi Nakazawa between the years of 2000 and 2004, Never7, The End of Infinity, Ever 17, The Out of Infinity, and Remember 11, The Age of Infinity. This is the Infinity series, which has been rather influential to the visual novel medium. Eventually, Kid went bust in 2006 and the rights to their properties went all over the place, and the titles were re-released on phones and the PlayStation Portable, but only in Japan. Until now, Majors have seen fit to re-release 2 of the games, Never7 and Ever 17, with Spike Chunsoft providing an English translation. The first of these titles, Never 17, The End of Infinity, was originally released as just Infinity on the PlayStation, gaining the title of Never 7 when the game was ported to the Dreamcast, and Ever 17, which was in development at the time, had become a sequel. I adore these titles, having influenced me when I played the fan translations when I was younger, so I'm super excited to see official releases and to see dreams realized.
お兄ちゃん、それで先生名付けて何よでもでしょで本当に
Makoto Ishihara is your average college student who is a little behind on his coursework, so to punch his numbers up, he's been told to take a fancy vacation alongside some other students to put his head back in the game. But then everything gets weird. He has a nightmare about someone dying, there's a mysterious bell, and then he starts having precognitive thoughts. It sure starts off small, but for long he's predicting tremors, and then he finds the mysterious bell from his dream. Wait, is someone going to die? Who's going to die? How will they die? And can he stop it? He's not alone on the retreat after all. Joining him at the lodge are the happy-go-lucky Yuko, the reserved Haruka, and the quick-witted, but not necessarily for good, Okuhiko. Their shenanigans at base will put them in touch with mostly friendly faces, and along the way, sparks will fly. Makoto will fall for one of the girls around him and... oh wait, that dream. Oh no. Never7 is a romance visual novel first and foremost. It has the crazy plot beats that you would expect from the contemporary works of the scenario writer, but it is much more of a slow burn compared to them. As a romance visual novel, you'll go down a common route with various choices that bring Makoto closer to the various characters before diverging into one of their many routes. There are routes for every heroine as well as a few bonus routes. The routes are also rather horseshoe-shaped in quality, with Yuka's route being extremely good and the easiest to get is your first, and then you'll stumble through the others, which don't quite have the same punch, but they're still solid, except for the Saki route. I think that one is straight up bad. But then you hit the final route, and the game is awesome. It's not really played enough for there to be a common consensus as to the quality of the ending, but I personally really enjoy the way the authors let you play with interpretation. I feel that without this title, we would have never gotten titles like Chaos Head or Little Busters. Never7 is not in a rush to unveil everything, but if you treat the game casually, I think it does offer up a lot of interesting stuff, and it's certainly well more paced than something like Umineko When They Cry. I'd recommend going back for bad endings if you missed them, because a few of them are quite interesting. There are many amusing factors where the title's age becomes really apparent, as it's trying to be something fancy when it comes to its genre, it being set in the far distant future of 2019, whilst many of the game's bigger conflicts would be easily solved via the implementation of mobile phones, which are entirely absent. Meanwhile, human cloning exists. It's a pretty funny dissonance. The soundtrack is also composed by Takeshi Aba, who would go on to, besides the other Infinity games, compose for science adventure games like the after-mentioned Chaos Head, Steins Gate, or even the recent and critically acclaimed, or at least by me, Famicom Detective Club, Emir the Smiling Man. And unless I'm missing a Memories Off game, this is the first title to really make use of what is now his signature style. Even in the year 2000, this man was cooking, and you could really see how he's developed since. I'm very happy to see Never7, The End of Infinity, finally released officially in English, and it's a fantastic relic of the past. It's a fun romance story with some absurdly cool plot developments, and you can see its influence on the visual novel medium sphere since. There's a lot to gain from it, and I thoroughly enjoyed my reread. Noisy Pixel is giving Never7, The End of Infinity, an 8 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching. Noisy Pixel is dedicated to bringing you guys the best news previews and more. Please stick around by ringing the bell to stay up to date with our future content, and I am really hoping that they bring Remember 11 West next. If there are any other titles you'd like to see brought over, let us know in the comments. You've probably got some crazy thing that I've not even thought about.
Noisy Pixel.